Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody. I'm spiritual medium, psychotherapist, and author Kellee White. Welcome to Ask Me Anything on May 21st, 2026. So I'm going to talk about spirit guides tonight. I'm so excited. In fact, I always have my personal spirit guides right by my side. Can't wait to talk about them and to talk about what spirit guides are and how do we get in touch with them. But let me say hi to a few people first, and then I'll get into, the astrology, and then I will get into the spirit guides and take as many questions as I can and give cards. And by the way, tonight I'm using a new oracle. I was inspired by my friend Michelle from Snowy Owl Intuitive on Facebook. She has always uses different cards. And I thought, Janelle Campbell and I are teaching a class tomorrow on star seeds and intergalactic. And I forgot that my dear friend James Van Prague gave me these star seed oracle cards. So we're going to use some of these later. Okay, these are going to be great cards. I've never used them, so I'm gonna use them. Oh my gosh! Hi, Melissa. Hi, Leslie. Leslie, your weather here in Chicago is crazy. I'm sure you are having a freezing time here. Yes, we are. In fact, my husband all day kept saying, "Boy, it's cold here. Boy, it's cold here," all day long. Yeah, and in fact, I got my planting done. So when you live in the Midwest, things that I have learned, unlike living in Los Angeles when you could plant all year round at any time, out here it's really not. It's in between storms and freeze, and when it's warm you run out. So I did so much gardening. In fact, I had a manicure, and manicure be damned, I was like, oh, weather, gotta go, and I just left my manicure, had it done, but went right into the garden, and now I need another manicure. So anyway, a bunch of stuff going on here. Hi, Stacy. She says, hi, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. I've learned so much from you. Oh, thank you, Stacy. Well, let's continue that road of learning. I love to teach, and I love this kind of information, frankly. Hi, Sweet Cherry Wine. It's hot as Hades in Florida. I bet it is. Hi, Benjamin Boyce. Looking forward to today's topic. Great. Hey, Laura, how are you? The energy is so much faster than the rapid speed we were already in, it feels like to me. I agree, Laura. Sometimes, I don't know if you guys do this, but sometimes I'll say, what day is it again? Wait a minute, didn't we just have Wednesday? Oh, it's Thursday already. Things are going so quickly now. My goodness. Hi, Lee Star. How are you, honey? Hi, Sarah Stone. My gosh. Hey, Bailey. Hey, Kim Ann. How are you, Kim Ann? Kim Ann, I was thinking about you. Did you see on The Bear, the prequel? Because I know you watched The Bear, as I watched The Bear. If you haven't watched The Bear, that is quite a season, quite a show. And they have a prequel that I watched the other day. Pretty intense, but very good. Very good. Great. God, these guys are such great actors. Whoa. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Mona Kay. Oh, my gosh. Hi, Jackie. Hey, Elizabeth, how are you? Hi, Renee. What a glorious energy the last few days. Been experiencing such blessings from the fairy that are helping you grow your garden. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I did busted out my fairy stuff and my gnome stuff for my gardens, and I have them sprinkled in all kinds of places. So I did bust out the fairies. I love them. I love the gnomes. I never did. Now I do. Hi, Judy. Hi, Lois. Hi, Conchetta. How is everybody? Hey, Barb Donovan. How are you? Hey, Lynn. Oh my gosh, I can keep going, but I'm going to stop here. Amber from sunny San Diego. I bet it is fabulous there. Let's talk a little bit about this energy this week and what's going on for the next few days, because this to me has been large energy, and we are in between the new moon that was on May 16th and the blue moon, the second full moon in a month, which is a rare position for that moon. And this one is on May 31st. So we are literally in the middle of this period. And when you're in this period while the moon is growing, what it's time to do is to build things. So new ideas, plant your garden, plans, make your plans, change your habits, set the intentions that we had on the new moon. It's not too late to set your intentions as the moon is getting fuller and fuller, because we're going to this really interesting blue moon. And, they say once in a blue moon. So this energy is very powerful energy, and it's powerful time. So continue to set your intentions and do it, and start taking some action here. So emotions and awareness will probably increase as this moon brightens. And so maybe even small feelings become clearer. When Shirley and I had Carrie Gonia on our show on Tuesday, and I don't know if anybody had a chance to watch it, but Carrie actually did a live family constellation. So you can go to Psychology and the Soul and watch it. If you wanted to watch it over and over, you certainly can. And for me, even though it was about a 30-minute constellation, it was so powerful. And I had some awarenesses. And as at any moment, we might think, oh, I've already worked through that. Oh, yeah, okay, we'll see. And then there's a deeper layer, and there's a deeper layer. There's a deeper layer of everything on Earth for us to constantly learn. So this time period that we're in, until we get to this new moon or the full moon, the second full moon, it will bring, even if it's a small awareness, whatever the awareness is, things can become a lot clearer for you. Okay. And so again, with this full moon on the 31st, because it's a blue moon, this can make emotions larger than life, or outcomes larger, emotions and outcomes. So set your intentions now, be really clear about your intentions, and, work towards them, work steadily for them. And what came through for me during Carrie's family constellation was something that I needed to work on. And so I just think about that. On occasion, it'll come up during the day and I'll go, oh yeah, okay. It's a lesson for me to learn, and I just pay attention to that. So start, again, set some clear intentions and work steadily. This is the time to work steadily toward whatever it is. Let's say you wanted to have a calm routine, sleep. This is a good time for simple food. Maybe doing even short meditations, but always check in with your feelings. So see how things are adjusting for you. Okay. And so really a takeaway for this time period is plant your intentions, and nurture them. So nurture yourself during this waxing phase and expect a stronger than usual result or insight by that full moon, that blue moon on May 31st. Okay. Because it's a very powerful time and you can feel the energy. Some people feel a lot of joy now. Some people are feeling, they're going as fast as they can. But it's a powerful time, very powerful times. Just remember that. And then next week, I will be talking more about that full moon, that blue moon on the 31st. I'll be real clear about that. But right now, just start setting, again, continuing, even the little things that you're doing, is very important. That's a powerful time now for all kinds of things here. Okay. So, and Michelle Cavanaugh, thank you. Snowy, Owl Intuitive. Check her out on Facebook. She's not going to be here this Sunday because everybody's taking the weekend off. It's Memorial Weekend. And she is going to be attending, as a lot of people will be attending our class with Janelle Campbell, which is going to be so fun tomorrow for star seeds. In fact, you know what? Yeah, go to my website, kelleewhite.com, and check it out. It's at, 4 p.m. Pacific time, and it's a 2-hour class. And Janelle is a fabulous medium, and she's going to take us on a journey to get in touch with the intergalactic realm. And she's going to be doing a meditation and a channeling. So just for fun, let's open up this cards right now before we even get into spirit guides. Sorry, guides, you'll have to wait for a minute. By the way, some spirit guides are star seeds. I have had many sessions with intergalactic spirit guides. And in fact, I'll be talking about that a little bit today, but let's get a card I've never used these cards. These are Rebecca Campbell's cards. And I think she's a wonderful medium. And Danielle Noel did the artwork. So a starseed oracle. Let's see. Oops, let's see where I'm going with this. No, okay, here we go. let's get a card from, oh, this is for everybody. And we'll start with the star seeds here. Ooh, the seeds of Mintaka. The seeds of Mintaka, Mintaka. Interesting. Love the colors here. Seen potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. Okay, bringing unconsciousness to light. I think that's what this energy is about right now. I think it's exactly what it's like. As I said, even small things, seeing the potential and allowing yourself to get to that potential, allowing that for yourself. Imagine you put good energy into yourself, what can come out, right? So we'll do some more of those. Great cards. I think I'm going to love these cards. So let's talk about spirit guides, because again, I always have a lot to say, but with spirit guides are a big thing for me. Years ago, and I've told the story many, many times, but 3 years before I had a head injury, 3 years before, I was reading James's book, Talking to Heaven. My dear friend waited in line, saw James on Larry King, waited in line at the Bodhi Tree bookstore and bought me a signed copy of Talking to Heaven. And when I read that book, I inhaled it like it was manna from heaven. And I really mean that. I inhaled that. And when I got to the part of spirit guides, I did not even had never really thought of spirit guides before, was never something that was a normal thing for me. So when I read that, I said, oh my gosh, I've got to see my spirit guides. And so in the book, James says, if you want to see your spirit guides, talk to them every night and tell them you'd like to see them or you'd like their name. So I used to always say every night, and I was a business person, but before I'd go to bed, I'd say, spirit guides, I want to see you, spirit guides. I really didn't know what I was saying. I just said, it was like my mantra. I want to see you, spirit guides. And about 4 years later, while I was in Tahiti, kind of like Mintaka there, just like that, I was on an island with no electricity, and my spirit guides appeared to me with my physical eyes. It wasn't a third eye thing. It was, I saw them with my physical eyes, and I go into depth in that in my book, Cracked Open. But I painted them. I'm not an artist by any stretch, but what happened is I knew I had brought artwork with me because I was on Tahiti and I thought it'd be fun. So I actually saw my guides, and he showed up first. He was an Indian man from India, and he showed up first. It was unbelievable. And then she came in second, and she was, I called her mama, like a mother she was a Jamaican woman, and she was extraordinary. I mean, I never saw such love. I never felt such love. I never felt such, just love is the only word I can say about my guides, just love. And I recognized both of them from previous lives. And so it brought me on a journey of spirit guides. So when I talk about spirit guides, and I do readings for spirit guides, and I'm noticing all kinds of different guides that are coming in now. And a lot of them have to do with intergalactic guides that are coming in. But spirit guides, and before I even get into spirit guides, I really want to mention another person that's really special to me before I forget. And that is Dwayne Morgan. Dwayne Morgan is an incredible healer. He's written a great book, The Kayenta Curse. I think you guys would love it. And go to his website. He's a healer, and he's offering all kinds of teachings, and he's got a podcast, and his name is Dwayne, Duane Morgan, Dwayne Morgan. And shout out to his lovely wife too. I love her so much, Elaine. But Dwayne is a really special healer. So anyway, go ahead and check him out because I love his work. So I just, before I forgot too deep into this, I wanted to mention that. But anyway, spirit guides, getting back to spirit guides. So people will hear that term and they might think, what does that actually mean? And do I have guides? Yes, everybody, I don't care who it is on earth, has a guide. Some people have one guide. Some people have two, depending on what it is you're going through. Some guides, I've seen people that are doctors that have teams around. I've seen, my mother used to say to me, do I have a guide? And I'm like, of course you have a guide. And I said, but you have like a team of them. Some guides come in for the life. Like my guides have been with me from the beginning. And on occasion, I can feel another energy that's entering the picture for me to help me with this or that. But I tend to have, my guides have been with me this whole time. James, on the other hand, James Van Prague will have several guides. One time he'll have a guide for, whatever he's working on. Then he'll have another guide for something else. So his guides tend to come in and change. And again, it's very personal. We choose our guides, and our guides are chosen with us and for us before we incarnate to whatever it is that we are needing on earth for this particular incarnation. So again, some people might have the same guide throughout many lifetimes. That's as normal as some people who have different guides all the time. Okay, so there's no one thing. It's really what your soul is needing before you come to earth. And so everybody has guides. And so people will say to me, well, I don't see them and I don't hear them. And that's okay. They don't need the recognition. They really don't. They often will stand in the back because they know our what we've come to do on earth. They know exactly what we signed up for. And so most guides are so detail oriented with us that they know certain times that we're going to have some troubles and we're going to have some struggles. And they're aware of that. And what they do is they help bring us comfort. They help bring us to where we need to be for our growth, because what they are help with is the responsibility of being on earth and growing. And what brings them the most joy is when we learn something. I mean, I've always said, you can imagine, three guides, at a bar sitting there saying, oh yeah, you should see my person. No, you should see my person, because you can imagine we have all put our guides through probably a lot of stress, where they're like, oh, here we go again. Don't go down that with that person. Okay, here we go. And they've got all the patience and love in the world. Okay, so you are not doing this life alone. I have said that over and over. We're not here alone. It's not possible. But you've got to, kind of pay attention to the fact that you do have guides. Again, you don't have to acknowledge them. It's nice if you do. And you might say, whoever you are, I'm glad you're here. They'll be thrilled. They will be thrilled. And so think of guides as part of your support team while you're here. And that can include ancestors. Oh my gosh, how many readings have I done? Hundreds of readings where somebody's great grandfather comes through, or their great grandfather comes through, and which part of their ancestral lineage to help them with what's going on now. They also, if I think of this in terms of Carigonia's work, our ancestors may have begun one of the problems in the lineage, and so they're there to help clear it up, or they're here to help you clear it up for them. But again, guides can be teachers. Often they are. There's certain energies that are assigned to you to help you on your path. Some can be intergalactic guides. I'm really working a lot with those now. It's just an interesting thing that's happening. And angels can be guides. Absolutely. Some people that are more in the angelic realm will have angelic guides come in. But guides are here to support your growth, and they're here to help you align. And they're here to guide you, not control you. They would laugh at that. There's no control. Because we have free will here. So just because they know our path does not mean that they're going to go, hey, do not do that. It's not their role. They can give you the greatest gut feelings, like maybe I shouldn't go down that road, and then you do it anyway. They're like, well, here we go. They guide you to where, to help you make the best decisions and the best choices that you can. And the way I describe guides, and I've said this many, many times, but I'll just say it again, is, let's say you have this idea, I'm going to go to the store, I'm going to go to the supermarket, and you're driving down to the supermarket. All of a sudden you have this, I think I'll stop at Starbucks. Oh, okay. You stop at Starbucks instead, and you're waiting in line, and you see an old friend that you haven't seen forever, or that really helps change the trajectory of your life. Or let's say you meet the love of your life, or let's say all of a sudden you meet somebody who helps you with a career. Those are not random things. Those are guides. That's not an angel thing, unless one of your guides is an angel, and that happens too. This is really a guide helping you stay on your path. Now, you could have free will where you just say, no, I think I'm just going to go to the store, or like I told this story the other day where a woman, one of my clients she had lost her husband, and she kept hearing, she kept feeling, oh, I've got to go to the sink. There's something on the sink. I should take it off. She kept walking away from it and walking away from it. I'm sure it was a guy that said, just go over there, because the thought wouldn't leave her. And then she went over, and sure enough, there was a note from her husband who had passed away that she did not know was there. So guides and our loved ones also can help. Now, can a loved one be a guide? Yes, they're not I don't believe that they're the original guides. You have original guides. Like, I know my mom is absolutely one of my guides now, for sure. Did it start off that way? Well, on earth, she was a guide to me. So yeah, maybe that way, if I look at it that way, for sure. But they can give really great types of assistance here. And so how you would know is through intuition. You might have a sudden knowing. Have you guys ever had that, where all of a sudden you just know something? You have a sudden knowing of something. That's one way a guide works. Another one is with gut feelings. Like, well, my gut feeling is, and I'll always say to somebody, what's your gut? My gut's telling me to take that job. All right, take the job. I mean, you have to really listen. It's so important. That's why meditation and trusting yourself and knowing thyself is so important and so valuable for being on earth. It's everything. So another way, guides can help you make decisions during challenging times. Very important to remember. Well, all of us will have challenging times, but that's where guides really thrive. They may, again, you might all of a sudden something drops in front of you, and it's a sign, you know what? Okay, that I'm going to go in this direction. They also offer clarity when you are facing life transitions or crossroads. Again, guides know why we're here. And when I do a session, a spirit guide session, guides will tell them why they're here, what they're here to look at, what they're here to face. They'll often bring up things, all the time, they'll bring up things that I couldn't possibly have a clue with. A difficult mother, a challenging father brought you here, a sibling that was this. They have so much wisdom. And often now I work with people who have wisdom guides, is what I call them, the white robed guides, the wisdom guides. And these wisdom guides are more serious minded. And sometimes I'll have, listen, I've had guides that have great senses of humor, and I've had guides that are more serious. My guide, my Indian guide, is a lot more serious, much more serious than my mother guide. And I don't mean my mother as in my mother on earth. I meant my other guide, who I actually call Mother on. That was the name I was given. And sometimes they do not give you their names. Okay. Sometimes you can call them anything. They don't care. And then every once in a while, because somebody will want to know, the name will pop in. The name will just pop in. And I've told this story many times, but you can share guides. People can share guides, especially some of these really powerful guides that come in. They'll take on, groups of people. Okay. Guides are also very helpful for protection and support, similar to angels, but they can act as energetic protectors, like during difficult situations. They can also provide comfort during grief. If you think you're alone in grief, you're not. Not only is your loved one there, but you have guides that are there too. They can really help you with illness. When I was in the hospital a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I guess it's been 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago. On my third surgery, I started actually talking to my guides. I didn't know what else to do, and I was a kind of a wreck. And I said, just give me a sign. Like I thought, oh, am I going to die? I didn't want to die. And 3 surgeries in a row is a lot. And I was overwhelmed. And I said, just show me a sign. And then I just went to bed. I probably just collapsed. And the next morning at 7 in the morning, when the doctor came in to talk to me, when he walked up to the bed, had a giant green swatch over him, like a swatch of color. In fact, it was so green that I could not even make out his face. And I said, okay, he's a healer. Green's the color of healing. And that's what I needed to hear. And I was like, thank you, guides. I know that they help me. They help with that. So they also can help you with spiritual and emotional balance. When you're going through, which a lot of you are right now, going through a spiritual awakening. Spiritual awakenings, our guides are practically giddy. They're so happy. Oh my gosh. Books will fly out of the shelf, or all of a sudden something will come up on the internet for you to read, or a class for you to take, or somebody for you to meet. Now, always use your discernment, because that's free will and discernment are everything. But guides will often throw us this because they want you to read this so you can learn this. And if you learn this, then that might expand your awareness. And that's the way guides work. So it could be synchronicities. It could be meaningful coincidences that could bring in guides. They also will show like reoccurring things, reoccurring numbers, reoccurring animals. They might say, I need you to understand that you are very spiritual. So they might make a notice of an owl. An owl has a lot of wisdom. So they have different ways of showing us things. Always know that. Now, here's another way. Dreams, they come in dreams. I have seen my guides appear in my dreams 3 times, and that was it, 3 times. So it's not like a usual thing. It's not. And each time, it's not that they said anything. It was just knowing they were there. And they were a big smile like this, just a big smile. And I was like, okay, guides, I remember. Okay. They also come through meditation. And I think on my app, Whispers of the Soul, I actually have a meditation, spirit guide meditation. It's like a 15-minute meditation on my app. But also, again, through different, try to find even a spirit guide meditation. That is a great way to all of a sudden see your guides. Okay. Now, with energy and guides, there might be a sudden change in the atmosphere or a sudden change in energy. And energy could get serious. You might feel it serious. You might feel, but it's calm. You might feel like great love or great joy. That also comes. It can bring emotional shifts towards peace or clarity. So always something positive. And you might have a feeling of a presence or a companionship. Okay. And also there are many guides that will come in for like artistic or creative projects. Let's say you're going to write a book, again, a guide might come in and go, a different guide may come in to help you. Or let's say, you wanted to do something creative, or let's say you wanted to take a trip. All of a sudden the Italian guide comes through and you go to Italy, I think that's how that works. That's what I'm waiting for, that one. I think that's fantastic. All right, guys, that's what I need. So again, how do they communicate? Through intuition, through subtle thoughts, and through body awareness. All of a sudden you might say, are you my guide? And you might get chills. Wait a minute, guide. Are you around? Yes. And so it's a quiet knowing. And it might feel like a thought that just drops in. All of a sudden a thought drops in. But it's a feeling that does not come from fear. Okay. There's no fear here at all. I think that I was very fortunate to be able to physically, with my physical eyes, see my guides. I would not recommend it for anybody because I could have had a heart attack. And it's very, all of a sudden when somebody materializes in front of you, just like whether it's a spirit guide or a spirit, and it's happened on few occasions with me. It can be quite daunting. So it's not for everybody. So to see them typically in the third eye or in a meditation is the best way, because they don't want to upset anybody. They know how hard it is here. They just want you to know you're not alone. Okay. So, often they bring a sense of clarity that just doesn't need an explanation, because sometimes it's so subtle, people dismiss it or they just don't see it. Okay. So the number one reason that people might feel disconnected, it's not because the guides aren't there, but it's because your mind is either too loud, or you are overthinking it, or you think it has to be a certain way, and it just doesn't. It's very, very subtle. So overthinking, fear, doubt, just let go of all of that, because it doesn't really matter. They are there. Your guides are very present. As I said to my husband once years ago, he said, "Do I have a guide?" I said, "Of course you have a guide." He said, "Well, what's his name?" And I said, I asked the guide and he didn't tell me. I said, "He won't tell me." And that's honestly often what they'll say. It's such a private thing. So he said, "Well, what does he look like?" And I said, "He's a big, like Native American, like a chief guy." It's what I saw, actually. So he went to bed that night and he wakes up at 6 a.m. and he goes, "I saw my guide. I saw my guide." I said, "You did?" He said, "Yeah." And I asked him his name. I said, "What's his name?" And he said, "Nathan." And I said, "Nathan? Nathan, the Indian guide?" He said, "Yes." He was so happy. And then I've told the story before, but it's hilarious. My dear friend Sue had gone that very week to see somebody who does Reiki. And often when you are having Reiki, a lot of guides pop up in that. They must love the energy. And so she was having a Reiki experience. And she said to me, "Kellee," she called me the next day after Dawn had told me this. And she said, "Oh, I had this amazing experience. And I had this spirit guide and he came through, and Kellee, he was this giant Indian and his name was Nathan." I just could not believe that. I said, "What?" And I told Don, and he said, "I don't want to share my guide." And Sue said, "I get to share my guide with Don." It was just a wonderful experience. So they are out there, whether you're a believer, whether you're a non-believer, it doesn't matter. They exist. Okay. So how do you begin to hear them? Just get very still, just get still, quiet the noise in your head if you can. And just start having a dialogue with them. It can be out loud. It can be in your minds. I do it before I go to bed. That's probably what I would do before you go to bed, and just say, "Just come to me, guide, and let me know your name." And you might wake up and say, "Oh, it's so-and-so." And sometimes they pick very simple names, and only just to help us with remembering them, or they don't care. Actually, they don't, because they are all about love. Love is everything. So that's, again, just be very still with it. Just feel still with it. And spirit guides are calm. They're neutral. They're clear. It doesn't have to be nothing is urgent or fearful. Okay. So you just start to figure out the best way for you. And I would start with before you go to bed tonight. And I just want to remind everybody before I finish on that, or as I finish on that, that tomorrow I have the Starseed class with Janelle Campbell. And I'm really excited about this class. So this is going to be expansive, intuitive, and deeply connecting. And if you've ever felt like you don't quite fit into the normal mold, this may actually speak to you. So join me and Janelle tomorrow. It's a 2-hour experience. I think it'll be transformational. And we're going to explore the concept and the idea of star seeds and souls who originated in other star systems and galaxies and chose to incarnate on Earth at this pivotal time. So it's tomorrow, May 22nd, from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific time. And if you can not join us live, if you purchase it, we're going to send it to you in the next day or two. You'll receive it and you can watch it anytime. And she's going to do an incredible channeling of the intergalactic field. And I get to ask questions. And so that's going to be really fun. And also, she's going to be doing a meditation. So I think you guys are going to love it. So that's tomorrow. And also on June 27th, Dr. Shirley and I are teaching a live Zoom class about personality patterns and understanding personality disorders and, why do they act the way that they do? And so we're going to talk about triggers and boundaries. And this is going to be a very powerful psychology in the soul class. And it's going to help you understand some of the things that you might be dealing with without the guilt or without the confusion or without the burnout. So if you've experienced repeated struggles in relationships or emotional reactions that feel like out of control, or you feel like you're walking on eggshells, Shirley and I understand this on a deeper level. So if you really want to learn a lot about psychology and different patterns that people have, please join our class on June 27th. I think you will enjoy that too. And I had some questions, and I really wanted to get to these questions because I thought they were so good. Hold on a minute. Let me just see if I can find the answer to that, because I think this is really important. Okay. So Carlene Reese said, Kellee, I had a dream, and the lady I was sitting with in her dream started glowing a bluish purple color. So would you say that was a guide? Because I never experienced that before. So I'm glad that you asked the question, because yes, absolutely, that was a guide. So I've been also, because I do a lot of spirit guide sessions, I have seen a lot of what I will call the blue guides, the blue guides. And so spirit guides often, and that's an intergalactic guide, but often what they will do is they'll show themselves through colored energy. So through auras or orbs, and each color represents a different type of energy or a purpose. So blue and purple, often it's associated with protection and spiritual teaching and higher consciousness or deep inner wisdom. So if you see that, like my guide, she was wearing this amazing like yellow and orange and gold, and that was just the colors that she had on. I knew that they were special. And yellow and orange and gold, it's associated with young or joyful souls, actually, and signifies communication, mental clarity. And it also can be a guide that is helping you with a specific problem. And if you have like white or clear light, that represents a really high vibrational, it could be angels or some divine connection. And green also has to do a lot with healers, healer guides, has a lot to do with teachers even. And so many people report to me that they see their guides with like flashing sparks. Sometimes that happens, or vivid auras. So always pay attention to that and the colors, because it's what the guide is trying to teach you, and just to give them. And some people will come through it. Some guides do come through with colors. So that was definitely Carlene one. And so Laura says, Kellee, are there certain spirit guides to certain souls, and how are they chosen for each? Yes, every spirit guide, everyone is specific for your soul. Whoever you are, you have a very specific guide for what you are there learning. I was also told a long time ago by, I think it may have been Mavis that told me this, that even the person on the street that is, alcohol and drugs and out on the street, that they have the highest guide to help with them to move forward. So everybody has a guide, okay? Everybody. And guides understand the human condition. But how they're chosen for each is, again, there's a council, a wise council. And Laura, you have a wise council there. A wise council will pick and choose what you need at certain times in your life. This is the energy you will have. You'll be at this age, you'll be learning this. This is where we see you learning. And this guide steps in for you. Like that. Okay. Hope that makes sense, because remember, everybody has guides. Okay. So I'm going to do a couple of cards here for some people here. Camps Dawn, let's get you a card here from the Starseed Oracle. I like this, the Starseed Oracle. Since I'm teaching the Starseed class tomorrow, let's see, Camps, here we go. A child of the cosmos. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. Ooh, I like that one. That's a good one. Here you go. Child of the universe. Oh my gosh. Hey, Jim Crum, how are you? Let me get you a card, Jim. I'm going to get you a card. Here we go. Oops. Let me get you a card from this deck. This is a different deck. Actually, you know what, Jim? I'm going to do the talking to heaven for you. I'm going to do the talking to heaven for you. I just heard your dad say, no, go to this card deck. So that's the one I'm going to go to. Okay, here we go. Ooh, as a soul, I can be in several places at once. I suspect your dad is very, very busy with meeting with all of his old friends and family and all of that. I Kim says, every time I think you say sweet cherry wine, I think of Guns N' Roses. Isn't that funny? And I think of Neil Diamond. Elizabeth Preston, my plants are in the basement and waiting on getting planted. Right. I know everything was delayed, Elizabeth. Me too. Okay. Vera says, do spirit guides do automatic writing? Excellent question. Yes. Yes. Vera, yes. Absolutely. Great question. Thank you for saying that. Okay. Because yes, let's say you really just ask your guides for some messages. Ask them simply. Put a piece of paper, a pen, pencil, and ask them, and then just start to write. Automatic writing. It's an extraordinary experience. Hi, Frank. Frank, I'm going to get you a card here. I'm going to get you a card, Frank. Here we go. The breath of the cosmos. My will to thy will. Micromanaging the universe. This is a strong card of will, and that's for you, Frank. And that actually fits. That fits for you for sure. Hi, Denise. Hi, Jen. Hi, Sasha. Oh my, indeed, it has been quite interesting here in the house with friendly spirits. Both Renee and I have been seeing them daily. Even at work, I've been blessed with visits. Isn't it funny when that happens, Sasha? They start to come in a lot more, right? Oh, here, Jennifer says, love your teaching, please. Can you give me a starter's card? Well, let's see there. Yeah, you definitely get a card here, but let's see. I don't know how starter this will be. Ooh, the blue flame. It's funny. I was just talking about blue guides. Spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time. The blue flame. So it sounds to me like you are definitely on a spiritual path and journey right now. Okay, there you go. Hey, Phyllis. Hi, Lindsay. She says, updated our daughter's memorial garden yesterday for her 30th birthday. Something positive on a challenging day. Okay, let's get you a card from that. I've got chills. I think she was thrilled that you did that. Thrilled. Oh, you're going to love this. Here you go. And you just said, updated the memorial garden. Okay, you ready? Here we go. I have no more earthly worries, but look at that garden. I hope you put some sunflowers in there. Isn't that great? I love that. Oh, you didn't see the bear cam? I thought you did. For some reason, I thought you did. Hey, Maggie Landis, everything feels so fast right now. Will this change with the new moon? So it will change. Probably not. No, I think if we want it to slow down, Maggie, do some Qigong. I happen to know a really good Qigong sister, and it's named you. Maggie is the great Qigong person. Great. So, Maggie, practice the Qigong. Okay. Hey, Glow, will my spirit guides reveal themselves to unscrupulous practitioners? No, they would not. If there are unscrupulous practitioners, they will not. No. And if you have the intuition that somebody is unscrupulous, you must not see them. Use your real strong intuition with that. Unfortunately, I had somebody that saw somebody recently that ripped her off of thousands of dollars. And it was a crazy person out there online somewhere. And so you have to be really, use your intuition and your discernment. I think it's so important there. Okay. It's so great. Hey, Leslie, let's get you a card. Leslie, here we go. Okay. Perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out and find common ground. Isn't it funny when you put the perspective to things? I like that. But perspective. Hey, Lynn, put the perspective. I think hey, Carla, how are you? Good to see you. Are you able to pull a card for me about my housing situation? Should I go or should I stay? Ooh, Carla, well, let's see. I don't know the answer to that, Carla, but let's get you a card here. The Messenger. Interesting. Okay, serious energy, bringing harmony and balance. Here's what I would say. If you don't have harmony and balance, then you might want to move. If you have harmony and balance, then stay, because your life right now should be about harmony and balance. I hope that will help you. I hope that will help. Oh, Jackie Grace, wasn't that a great show with Carrie? And again, if you guys haven't had a chance to watch it, it was so good with Carrie Gonia. Oh my gosh, she's just an angel on earth. And these family constellations are extraordinary, you know. Hi, Kim Ann says, at this point in life, the only layers I'm interested are frosted with cream cheese. I love that. I'm with you, sister. Hey, Anna. Hi, Kelly. Will things in health improve for me next month? Well, let's see. Here we go. I believe they will. I will. Here we go. Lost land, soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. Interesting. So have you gone through this health thing before? Have you gone through this before? That's what I'd be curious about. And put all your intentions to healing. Put all of your intentions to healing. Right, Laura? That was an amazing show with Carrie. It blew my mind, too, of how powerful it was. Hey, Rita. The weather is good in Fort Wayne. How's yours? Well, it's a little cool here, but it's going to get better. Rita, let me get you a card from here, Rita. My old soul friend. Big picture thinking. Pleiades energy. Visionary. Inspired ideas. So funny. Tomorrow we will be talking about the Pleiades, because I can always tell when somebody is Palladian. They have a very special energy, and the energy is about healing. They're often they feel everything. So you can tell, because usually they have light eyes. Not every time, but often I can see light eyes with them, which is fun. Hi, but Miranda, wasn't that Tuesday show amazing? Okay. Wow. Liesel says, on Monday night, May 18th, I saw what looked like a bright star next to the waxing moon. Yes, and it was Venus. I saw that too. You can still see it. It's just amazing. Yet Josie says, it was amazing, and I've talked to mom and dad since. Great. I'm so glad you did. Oh my gosh, how great. Okay, Jeanette, it's your birthday. Let's get you a card today for sure. Baby steps. Action. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. So follow your intuition, Jeanette. Definitely. Happy birthday, honey. Happy birthday to you. And if you are born today, so if it's today the 21st, May 21st. Yikes. I think it's a Jack of Clubs, May 21st. Yep, Jack of Clubs here. Jack of Clubs. Always, they love to think and learn. Hi, Kelly. Hey, Crystal. Good afternoon. Can you get a card from? Yes, let's get a card for you from your loved ones. And very hard and intense time. Okay, here, honey. Well, it says we are soulmates. So whoever on the other side that you're talking about, it's a soulmate connection here for you. I know. And a lot of us, have been going through these are not easy times on earth. I'll call them hard times. These just are. Oh, Laura DJ. Yeah, you're going to take the class tomorrow. Let's get you a card for you, Laura. I'm so glad you're going to take it. It's going to be such a good class. Janelle is so good. All paths lead home. Inner authority. Intuition. Turn your gaze within. Oh, what a great card. I love that. Turn your gaze within. I love that. And Laura, yes, may I have a card for your travels to your son? Yes, Laura, here, let's get you a card here. Ooh, Laura, you'll love this. A new earth. This is so you, Laura. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. Hold the vision of a new earth, and hold the vision. Tomorrow will be a great, great trip. You'll have a great trip. Okay. Conchetta, yes, let me get you a card too. Here we go. The 7 Star Sisters, which are the Pleiadians. They call them the 7 Star Sisters. Birthing creations, tapestry of life, expression. What a great card. Oh my gosh, that's a great card. And again, we're going to be talking about this tomorrow. So interesting. Okay. Oh, Jeanette, your birthday is on the 22nd. That makes you a 10 of clubs. There you go. Okay. Wendy says, you must be extremely grounded. Having a country life must be very good for you mentally. Yes, Wendy, it is. And again, I'm born and raised in Los Angeles. I could not do the work here if I was living there. I just couldn't. It's a different energy. The energy here on this farm. I mean, I just came back from Texas, and I have to say, what a different energy, and just coming back here was so peaceful for me. I love it. I just love it. Never thought that would be me. And yet here I am. And I love it. I love it. Okay, Wendy. So here's a card for you. The Golden Children. Ooh, the inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. Ooh, what a great card. Rare gifts. I love that. I love that. Oh, thank you, Kim. And I got this in Greece. I love Greece and I love Italy. Right, Lee Minnetonka. There you go. I love that. Okay. Yes. Intuitive Fire says, notice that many people are on edge and snapping and flying off the handles. Yes, they are. And so be as grounded as you possibly can during these periods of time that we're in, because we're in it for the long haul here, and we're in it for learning and for growth. And if you can be calm, and listen to your intuition and listen to your guides and notice things around, notice what brings you joy, notice what brings you happiness, because the world is still going to be like this. So we really do have to go within. It was funny because again, years ago I studied with a guru, but she did teach us something very important, which was no matter where we were in the world, we had to be able to go inward to still. And that really stuck with me. And for that part of it, I am happy. Hi, Isabella. Hi, Glenda. Let's see. I don't know, Lee. I think it is. I think that is it. Glenda says, I'm afraid to know what my future is. Well, just stay in the moment. That's the best thing right there. Just stay in the moment. It's the best place to be. Yeah, Talking to Heaven, the book is amazing. I agree. Kim says, oh my God, I know what hotel you stayed at. I recognize the logo on the letterhead. I stayed at that hotel. Oh yeah. The Bora Bora. It was in Bora. Well, I was actually on a small island, but when I got to Bora, no, how did I get that? No, it was the Pearl Beach Resort. Yeah, that's where I stayed. Is that where you stayed, Kim? I had to stop and think, because it was not Bora Bora where I was, but that says Bora Bora. But the Pearl Beach Hotel. Yeah. That's where I took this. That's exactly was it. Okay, Laura says, do our spirit guides support us, or do they have many people they watch over? So some just watch individually. You're the go-to person. Some have very big energy and can master more than one, maybe a whole village, maybe a whole team, maybe a whole family. I often will see guides with families. Oh, this whole family, my poor guide, any guide that does that in my family, I'm so sorry in advance. But I know that there are guides that do families. There are guides that probably watch hospitals. There are guides that watch over movie sets. There are guides that watch over all kinds of things. We need a lot of help here on Earth, and individually we need a lot of help. So some share and some have individual. I hope that answers the question. Melania, hi Melania. Hi Kelly, I'll be traveling to my home country tomorrow, and I'm a bit worried about everything going smoothly. It will go smoothly, smoothly, smoothly. You're going at a beautiful time, Melania. Just think like that. Okay, just think like that. It's all smooth. Let me get you a card. Here you go. But don't worry about a thing. Enjoy the trip. Okay, you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness, this says. Face your true north. There you go. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I've never seen a card like that. Embrace yourself is what I would say. Okay, Isabella, this is a great question. Are guides guardian angels, or are they two different entities? I believe that they're two different. Some people will say they're the same, because spirit guides are guardians of you. I always think of guardian angels as more of in the angelic realm, and guides I think of as souls who have either been on Earth or intergalactic souls that have spent a lot of time here, that understand the situation. So I always feel that they're different. So I personally differentiate the two. Okay. But again, some people might say, oh, it's the same. It's not for me. It just is not. So that's how I think. Hey, Ann Margaret, I have a ton of guides from all over the world. Thanks to you sharing that with me, Kel. You have so many because you need some help. And Margaret, I got a card for you because you're a card. Here we go. This is pretty funny. Okay, this is going to make you laugh. You're not alone. Isolation, physical connection, community. So you do have guides all over. You're not alone. There you go. that fits. That tracks. Oh my God. And Amber, let me get you a card from your guides. For I don't know if these are from guides or these are just messages here for you, Amber. You got the love, Hadradian energy, codependency, and boundaries. So set some boundaries up. Whatever they are, set boundaries, Amber, whatever that means to you. Set boundaries, always important. Patty says, Kelly, well, sad news. My husband passed away Monday night. Patty, I'm so sorry. He was so restless before he passed. I just rubbed his arm to settle him. I just kept watching his stomach going up and down when he stopped. I wasn't sure. I had to yell and shake him. I knew that was coming, but still in shock. He was always worried no one would meet him. I kept telling him somebody would be there to greet him. Oh my God, his parents were there, Patty. I've got chills. And I also want to say there's a brother figure on that side with him. It's either your brother or his brother. There's a brother on that side. I'm sorry, Patty. I'm very sorry, honey, that happened. Let's get you a card from guides or from the loved ones. Ooh, here we go. Remember me by the happy memories we created. And I know that there were a lot of happy ones. So, Patty, thank you for sharing that. And I'm deeply sorry. You guys went through a lot. That I know. You went through a lot. Okay. So, Kelly, if you want to meet your guides, anybody who wants to meet their guides, find a spirit guide meditation and a guided meditation. I have one on if you are a member of my Whispers of the Soul, my app, and you can find that on my website. I have one on that. But if not, then just go find a guided meditation for spirit guides. James has done lots of them. Maybe you can Google some of his. He's done lots of them that should be online too. Okay. Hey, Sandy. Sandy, my friend, I'm going to get you a card, Sandy. Just because. Whale and Orca elders, share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. Well, you did do all of that, honey. And I hope you're doing really well. Okay. And Margaret says, I never typed this, but I'm very sad tonight about the cancellation of Stephen Colbert. I am too. It's numbing as he was love, light, wit, humor, and so darn smart, beyond heartbroken. I'm with you, Ann Margaret. He's something else. He is something else. He'll do amazing things. You just wait and see. He is a very special soul with special guides. He's going to do amazing things. Okay. Gail says, Kelly, can I have a card from my guides? Yes, my pleasure. Let's get this. Okay. Weight of the world. Oh my gosh. I bet that's a lot. Let go boundaries. It's not yours to carry. So, think about that for a second. And I was thinking of Carigonia again. Every time I hear the word carry now, I think of Carigonia. And go to Psychology in the Soul, to our class on Tuesday that we did live. And she did an extraordinary family constellation that helps people move forward. So I think that's really important here. Okay. Let's see what else here. Laura says, can we send communication to a porter's guide, a porter's guide, to ask them for help? Oh, just talk with your own guides. Talk with your own guides. Just talk away. They're listening. Talk away. Okay. Laura says, if one's ancestor is one's guide to fix the issue they created, is that issue then fixed? Is that generational trauma in for the family right there? It really begins the process, Laura, of that for sure. And the work that you're doing in your family system is helping tremendously, more than you could ever imagine. Ginger says, hi, Kelly. My daughter passed on the 11th of April. I'm so sorry, Ginger. Let me get you a card, honey. Life is a series of choices. Choose love. Here's what I would say about this, Ginger. Whenever you look in the clouds, like a mom cloud and a baby cloud. Look for clouds like this, especially anything heart related with your daughter. Okay. Look at that. All right. Oh my God. Melissa says, can spirit guides have the same religion like you do? Some, you bet. Some can. Some can. That's a good question. Guides will meet you where you are. So on the other side, do they have religion like that? I think it depends on where the soul's growth is. So it's a good question. It's a provocative question, and it's a good one. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Jamie asked my guides to help every day. That's what I would do too, every day. Okay. So you guys, I've got to go, but have a wonderful week. Have a good 3-day weekend if you get that. Safe travels. You guys go have a good time. Be in the moment and enjoy life. And if you are around tomorrow and would like to take our class, just go to my website, kelleewhite.com, go to events and sign up for our Starseed Intergalactic class tomorrow. It's going to be really fun. I love teaching with Janelle. She's a ball. She's great. If you haven't we do an angel class at the end of the year, and that's really fantastic. But you guys would love this. This is a good one. All right, everybody, take care, my friends. And then Tuesday, before I forget, one more thing. Shirley and I are doing questions and answers next Tuesday. So if you have any psychological questions or spiritual questions, I can answer those too, obviously. But if you want to just have some really deep questions about your life or things that you want to know about, between Dr. Shirley and me, we will hopefully have the answer for you. So join us on Tuesday, Psychology in the Soul. So take care, my friends. Look forward to seeing you soon.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.